Okay. I look like I have a wig.
Do you?
No, but
You should be grateful that you have a head full of hair.
do you see what I'm saying though? Why it might look like a wig?
Actually, I think wigs look better. We have many Padgett sayings, and one of them is this: extremes are easy, balance is difficult. We have found in our lives that it's whether it be in our spiritual journey or in the way we run our family life, even in our own personal practices, that it's easy to jump to extremes, completely cut TV completely out of the house, or instead of just starting to read the Bible more, I'm going to get up 3 hours early and spend an hour in prayer, an hour in reading. Like we tend to go to extremes so easy. And but really, I think what we're called to in life is balance. God calls us to balance, and to learn to maneuver through life with this balance is so much more difficult than just jumping to extremes.
Right. Now, there's a lot of things in our life that we can be extreme about, certainly. And that might be good, like being extremely all in for our faith, being extremely all in for our family, that kind of stuff. But what we're talking about is extremes and balance when it comes to the daily grind with life, or maybe certain choices and decisions that you want to make as a family. Here's a couple examples. One example might be television. I remember when we were early married, we were trying to make a decision about whether or not we were going to even have television. And it was almost like this idea that you would be a holier family if you didn't have a TV in your house. And I can remember for many years, I don't think we had a TV. And if we did, we certainly had only the basic channels that came in. It was PBS, NBC, or whatever, and that was kind of it. It wasn't really until maybe a little later in life, when I was watching some football a little bit more and wanting some variety in my channels, that we got it. And I can just remember feeling like, I don't know, is this okay for me to have television? And what about our kids, you know? The funny thing is that while we maybe didn't even have cable, we certainly accessed the VCR a lot in the early years with our kids, just to help babysit, you know?
Yeah, I know. I think that I look back at my childhood, and I have great memories as a child watching a movie or TV with my family, and we have found that through the years that television has actually allowed for us to have good quality family time together. It doesn't automatically equate to evil or stupid children. I don't know. It is possible to have good family time, but the truth is, what we found is that it's hard to regulate television. It's hard to regulate how much time we spend watching TV and how much time we allow our kids to watch TV. And I think because it's hard to regulate, it's easy to jump to the extreme of TV is evil. We shouldn't have any television. And when I just think that we can't say that TV is evil, or that whatever it is that you want to put in that category, but it's the balance of it. Because it's difficult, we just assume maybe it's not right for us. I don't know.
I think the thing is that balance is hard. That's the reality.
Right.
It's easy to be extreme. So it's easy to either not have the TV or to have the TV and just let people watch whatever they want, whenever they want, as long as they want. But if you want to actually kind of make sure that you're not kind of falling into certain habits and patterns that promote, I don't know, laziness or lust or whatever, the thing is that you have to be a little bit active in your kind of schedule and how much time they can watch certain
it calls
shows,
for discipline,
right? And what channels that are allowed and not allowed. So that's a lot more work. But what we found is that the balance is worth it in the end, because there's a lot of things about like television that can be very helpful. So interestingly enough, when my son came home and was interested in certain things dealing with maybe history and a certain war, I remember we went out and we were able to get the movie that basically talked about Winston Churchill during the time of World War II, and it was fascinating to see how his schooling could connect to some really cool cinematic moments.
But just because something doesn't have maybe a religious connection or an academic connection doesn't mean that it's wrong. I think we tend to do that. We try to think that we have to over spiritualize things or hyper sense the purpose of something in order to validate the purpose of that. But really, entertainment can be pure entertainment if it's not something that we're doing all the time. And this conversation for us came up recently because a friend of ours was talking about, for him personally, how, should I buy a video game system? I feel like I'm not having a lot of I'm too serious with my kids, and maybe I need to allow for a little bit more fun in my relationship with my children. But I'm afraid of what, are we going to be going down a path with getting video games that I won't be able to control? And in the end, we decided, because we had that same decision too. Do we do video games or not? Because there's somebody in the family who really has a problem with video games, and so. So we had to decide, do we want to get a system or not? And again, it came down to this balance that we've allowed for video games to be in our family. And have they been abused? Yeah, we've had to deal with cutting back on time and taking them away. And it's a battle, a fight to find that balance. But we have some really great memories being made from video games.
Yeah, actually, I love video games. When I was a kid, I absolutely was infatuated with all the Atari games and would spend hours playing it. I really didn't have a huge problem with video games until probably we got, I don't know if it was the PlayStation 3 at the time, when Skyrim came out. That was the game that was kind of hard for me to deal with anything else but.
I thought I was going to have a problem with Mario. When Mario came back out, I thought, because that was my game when I was younger. But Mario stresses me out these days, but give me Zelda.
I think that's what we realized, is that in some ways there were these funny little moments that we were having where we were enjoying a particular game, and then the kids would get involved, partly because we couldn't get to the next level without them. So it wasn't uncommon for Linda to have all the kids helping her get past the big bag. Look, ultimately, I think when you think about your family, you know your family best. We certainly don't know your family and what's going on there. And maybe for you, gaming has a ton of horrible connections and bad triggers. And then you make the decision not to have games. Great. That's so fantastic. Maybe you're wondering if it's okay to play games. The answer is, of course it's okay. Video game systems are not intrinsically evil. A television is not intrinsically evil. It's really, again, you have to have an active participation when it comes to your family. You have to be, balanced, and balance takes a lot of hard work. So for us right now, funny enough, it's Saturday and our kids are inside playing video games. But what will have happen in just a little bit is I will gather them up and we will go work our tail off, because we got a lot of stuff to get ready for winter. So be encouraged. If you've made the decision as a family to cut back on television, or maybe to only watch one show a week, or to basically cut it out completely, great. Whatever works for your family best is the key. And
extremes are easy.
And extremes are easy. Now, if you choose that path, it might not feel like it's extreme, and that's okay too. I mean, I guess ultimately what we're saying is that for those of you out there that are wondering whether or not it's okay to play video games with your kids, we would encourage you to do that. What a great memory, and your kids would think that you're so cool to be able to join them, and then you can be made fun of because you don't know how to use the video control consoles and all that stuff. If you wonder, should I use or watch TV? Yes, sit down, watch the games with your kids, enjoy it, have fun. There's something beautiful about having fun with your kids, and it doesn't always have to be in a kayak where you almost drowned. It's a personal problem for me.
In the end, extremes are easy, balance is difficult.
Kayaks are bad. God bless you. If you want to find out more, feel free to touch base with us. Linda at CatholicFam.org, Chris at CatholicFam.org. We love talking to you and pray that you're doing well. God bless.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.